Yo, what up guys? This is Animal. Today I bring you a new video. Today I'm going to talk about the trials of the 9 no radar. A lot of people have come to me, asked me what I thought, and to explain a little bit what trials of the 9 no radar, the situations, what it is, and all that kind of stuff. Trials of the 9 no radar is when you play Trials of the 9, the radar that's usually at your top left of your screen is not there anymore. It's like Spooky Trials from Trials of Osiris in Destiny 1. Spooky Trials was something fun, but not really wanted as a non-stop type challenge every week because it was a challenge. And back then it was even worse because back then you had Sun Seniors, so it was a Sun Senior only weekend. Now we have a little bit more variety because we don't have the Sun Senior. But now, another thing too that helps out is the fact you can't res in survival. So, but this weekend is going to be countdown, so it might go both ways. And I think the res timer is even faster now and all that kind of stuff. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm probably going to make an update video after this weekend just to talk about this even more. Some of my friends asked me what I felt. Some of my friends asked me what I think and all that kind of stuff. And my responses have been like all over the place. Because until you, like, I'm the type of person that until you sit down there and you literally put pros and cons, I can't make really a decision. But when I sat down and I made pros and cons, there is more cons than there is pros. And I'm going to get into a little bit more detail here. Because the thing about Trials of the 9, Trial of Osiris, it's always been a competitive game type for competitive players. The people that weren't competitive were either getting carried or helped out by their friends, all that kind of stuff. It's always been a competitive game type where high skilled players would thrive. And the thing about this is it allowed players to shine, the highly competitive players, because they could go to the lighthouse or the third spire, unknown space, all that kind of stuff. And it's a very popular game type, but radar, skills, revives, team shoots, assists, assisting on anything with planting a planting objective, reviving, name it. It's all competitive and highly skilled things, moments, plays. So Trials has always been one of the go-to bread and butters of Destiny. In between DLCs, it's what kept Destiny afloat. And it still does, kind of, right now, but not as much as what D1 was, because Trials of the 9 is not the same as Trials of Osiris. If you would ask my opinion, I'll go back to Trials of Osiris any day. I missed that. I missed the elimination 3v3. I felt Bungie had, that good recipe, that very good recipe. And, I mean, they could have still did this competitive stuff and all that kind of stuff for the highly competitive players, but I feel like Trials should have stayed 3v3 and it should have not changed. I feel like that was a mistake, but that's my opinion. I still like playing the 4v4 survival. Survival is probably my second favorite game type in the game, personally. Countdown, I feel like Countdown can be really sometimes campy. Sounds weird, but when they plant a bomb and they hide in 4 different corners and literally crouch with clothes and stuff, for me that's campy. But that was before this update, so tonight I'll be playing some trials and I'll be able to see what people do now because Night Stalker's less in the mix. But this might be a freaking nightmare because no radar and they'll be camping to protect the plant. So the first team that can plant, if they can win every plant attack, they're gonna win. So let us hope not. We'll have to wait and see this weekend, but that will be another video. Right now I'm here to talk what I think personally, because a lot of people approached me and some people wanted a response, and I'm gonna give it to you guys. My view of it is I feel like it takes a certain skill out of the equation and adds another. The skill I'm talking about is I have a good buddy called Ace as the Juice. He's an amazing player. If ever he creates a YouTube channel or Twitch, I'll let you guys know in the description. He's an amazing player. Make sure that you keep a lookout for him. One of his best skills, he's so adaptive to the radar, it's crazy. But his entire play style, all that kind of stuff, sort of like revolves around seeing where your enemies are at and all that kind of stuff. Without the radar, he's still an amazing player, but it's one of his key components. And removing that from a skilled player can sometimes remove his entire skill, how should I say, like attack or something like that. He's still going to be able to defend himself. He's still going to be an amazing player, but you're removing one of his key attacks. Let's say it like that. For another player, you might be adding a skill gap. There's other types of players out there that they don't kind of like having a radar because they like to have the pounce on their enemies. Oh, the flank, the super amazing flank, you just got a 4-man feed. Wow. But you have to be highly skilled to be able to flank and get the 4-man, or be able to call out and say, all right, I'm flanking, boys. Peek out and shoot right now. And you're going to be right up their ass to finish off and clean up. If you're that type of player, that stuff is going to work. But if you are with a team where communication is not there, you're going to get whoop. Because if the other team is highly communication, vigilant, and running around as a pack, they're just going to mow you down. As even if your KDs suck, even if your KDs are garbage, if you run as a team and your team shots are on point and your communication is on point and your vigilance is on point, and what I mean by vigilance is you have a player that looks right, you have two players that look in front of you, and you have a player that constantly turns. If your team does that while running in a circle around the map, just mow down the team. Even if you have a bad KD, you're still going to be able to get some wins. Might even get flawless. Because this still adds another key component to the mix. But the bad thing in this, and this is where I'm really scared of, is if you're a good flanker, or a decent one, or one player that's separated from the group by somebody else, you might go around the corner and the 3 or 4 dudes are standing right there. You don't know. You can't see on the radar. You don't know if they're going to be all crouched up over there. They might even be cloaked. They might even be in the rift. You can't do it. You can't do shit. You do not know. Unless you have a Fist of Havoc or a Void Bomb, you're screwed. You're fucking screwed. And that's where it's really annoying. Because if you're trying to play with a team that doesn't communicate, doesn't team, doesn't vigilance, and doesn't run together, you're gonna get totally squashed. This weekend, there's a couple of games that I streamed. I was so pissed off that I was like, fuck this. But there's other games. I even played with bad KDs. I played with some amazing, amazing players. Like, right here. But I played with some bad KDs also. Got some good games in because I was telling them what to do. I was telling them what to do. Run together, this and that, and we'll be successful. But if there's not a loud voice in the room, you're gonna get squashed. And that's where I feel the radar was a key component for good players and even decent players and sometimes even noobs. And I feel like it was a bad decision from Bungie to remove this. Because now carriers have to be even louder. And before, you had carriers that were like loud and they had their radar. The noobs had their radar. But now the noobs don't have their radar, so you have to be twice as loud, twice as like really mean. I don't want to say that in a mean word, like a mean way, but you have to be like really, hey, I told you to do this, do this. You know, like that's going to be a bad thing. You know, it gives a bad vibe to new and upcoming players, rookie players, or new players. It gives them a bad vibe. It gives them a stress that usually they're not accustomed to or wanting to. Competitive players, when you play with big players that have big stats and all that kind of stuff, the communication is almost like, sometimes it can be scary for a noob or a low level because you're like, holy shit, this is way too much stress for a chess piece. You know, fuck this, I can go do strikes and get that chess piece that I need. But for highly competitive players though, it's a thrive. You thrive on it. Right now, I have everything from Trials. I have everything from Trials. I wouldn't even have to log in during the weekends. I could just say, fuck this. But you know what? I like playing Trials. I like playing Destiny. I like farming my wins and all that kind of stuff. I like getting my 3 flawlesses every weekend. I'm that type of player. I've been that type of player in D1. Even if had certain moments in D1 I had nothing to do anymore, I still played the fuck out of it. But D1 was another situation though. D1 was addictive, was amazingly fun, and you had random rolls which you never knew what role you could get. So it was amazing. But in D2, I still play it every weekend because I enjoy playing Destiny. And that's another thing. I know this is a different topic, but Destiny 2 has its problems. I usually always say it to my friends and all that kind of stuff. They're like, you know, why are you always playing this? Why are you always playing Trials and stuff like that? I love playing Destiny. I love playing Destiny. There's no other shooter right now, in my opinion, that takes my heart away from this game. I play Overwatch on the side. That's it. That's it. I come from a Killzone main gamer. I would play every shooter, Battlefield, Resistance, Call of Duty. I have all the games right there, like all lined up. I played the fuck out of first-person shooters. I can go back to Turok on my 64. I can go back to Wolfenstein 3D on my PS3 that I re-downloaded. All that kind of stuff. I could go back to my Super Nintendo days. There wasn't much shooters, but I always played shooter games. I love playing shooters. But since Destiny 1, I've been attached to Destiny 1. If you go back in my YouTube beginning days, I had Battlefield videos, I had Call of Duty videos, I had Halo videos, I had Resistance videos, Crisis, Titanfall, name it. I had a bunch. But since Destiny 1 has been out, I've just been in love with this new style of shooter, where you have supers, abilities, amazing atmospheres of gigantic universes and galaxies and all that kind of stuff. And your supers, don't make me started on supers. I am amazed of supers. I love that concept in a shooter. Instead of kill streaks, I'd go for supers every day. It's so fun. Gets you big kill streaks and all that kind of stuff. It's crazy fun. Puts you in an atmosphere differently. Even puts you in the third person perspective at certain moments. And it just drives you nuts if you're in love with Destiny like I am. The sheer story, the sheer universe of Destiny just pulls my mind. I'm a huge Star Wars maniac fan. It just drives me into a different space. I just love playing Destiny. I still play other shooters right now. I still play Overwatch and I still play Black Ops 3 from time to time. But for me, Destiny is home. Even if Destiny 2 is not technically home and more of an apartment right now, I still love playing that over other shooters. So I hope that answers a bunch of why are you still playing this game? That's why. That's why. There's no other reason. This is why I play Destiny. Even if Destiny is going to be at its lowest, I still love playing Destiny over other shooters. Simple as that. But anyways, that was another topic. That was a little bit of a rant. I apologize. But yeah, no, Trials of the Nine right now, I play it every weekend. It's my fun. It's my multiplayer competitiveness that I bring out to the table. Even if I'm not the sharpest knife in the world, in the game, I still play to win. And that's pretty much it. But I'll do agree on a certain point, if you play with a noob team or up and coming players or rookie players, it's rough. No radar is rough. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, it's rough. But if you have one player that's super good, communicates throughout the entire rest, and leads them, you're going to shine. You're gonna shine. Try it out and you'll see what I mean. Even if you don't go flawless, you're still gonna get wins. But would I say that Trials of the Nine should stay with the no radar situation? Nah. Nah. It's too much of a major change to a 4-year-old game where people were accustomed to a radar. They played and built their character, their playstyle around the radar. Even if there's a lot of players in D2 that crouch and don't appear on radar, the little spaz of 2 seconds where your team is pow against the other team and you see all these red bleeps all over the place, you know, if you're a skilled player, where to go, which opponent to go for first. You know you're gonna go for the dude that's either crouching for the flank and peeking, shooting, peeking, crouching, peeking, shooting. You're gonna go for that motherfucker first. But that's the thing. With a radar, if you're a good player, like I was saying earlier, like Ace, he's gonna go and hunt down the enemies that he knows that are important to kill first. But without a radar, he's still gonna fucking wreck the team because he's that of a great player. But it's gonna be hard, a little bit harder to know which one to go first, because you might not know, but there's another fucker coming behind you. That's the thing about the no radar. It has its one key component that Bungie wanted to bring to the table, the pounce flank that gets these amazing kills. Because I think Bungie misunderstood the fact that we want back specials so we can create plays, get these quad feeds, get these moments, the hero moments of getting quads and snipes and shotguns. are just not there right now. And I think they wanted to create that by removing the radar so a dude that picks up heavies can move up with a flank and get the 4-man feed. Oh, believe me, you can do that right now. Then you don't even need to go for the flank if you're running Acris, to be honest. But I still think that Bungie are trying to add certain things into the game so we can get these hero moments, but it's just not working in the mix. It's just not working in the mix, and you're ruining your recipe. As a cook, when you create a masterpiece of a recipe, you're not gonna change the recipe to kill it. The base of your recipe. You're gonna add things into the mix that makes it better. I feel like that's what Bungie is doing. They're like, oh, this ingredient, maybe we could take it out and add this. It doesn't work. Doesn't work. I said it to Bloodstorm the other night. It's like if Bungie took Destiny 1, which was like a triple A steak, like Wagyu beef, like beautifulness, and went to fucking Walmart's like Angus small 6-ounce steak that's a piece of rubber that you could use as a puck. Doesn't make sense. And the reason why I say this is D2 is far from what D1 was. But I still play the game. I know. I still love playing the game. I know. But I do hope that Bungie, they're supposedly going to have a summit there. They're bringing like a bunch of players and all that kind of stuff. They're supposed to change a little bit the game and all that kind of stuff, update it and everything. Let's hope that they do it and they fix this game, because I'm so sick of seeing the negative comments, the negative air in the air. You know what I mean? I can play the game, still have some kind of a fun factor and all that kind of stuff. I'm that type of player. I'm that type of person. I love the Destiny franchise, so I'm going to find its one positives and make it shine in my book. But for certain players, the negatives are so much that they can't find the one positive and do the same as me, right? And it's okay. It's okay. There's certain players, it's normal. It's not anything mean. I'm just in that nature. I'm in that nature where once I'm in love with like a game or something like that, I'm just gonna enjoy playing that over other shooters. Do you think I want to go fucking play World War II? Why the fuck would I go play World War II when I can be playing Destiny 2 with these bunch of supers? I can still play strikes with some friends. I can still play raids. I can still play trials. Why the fuck would I go play World War II warfare with fucking snipers? Fuck that. Fuck that. So, you see where I'm coming. Maybe at the end of the year, when there's bigger games out there like Red Dead Redemption 2, the new Battlefield, the new Call of Duty, name it, maybe then it's going to be a little bit more drastic for Bungie to do changes. And I think this is why they're doing a summit, because they're not seeing numbers coming back up. They're starting to be scared. They have a second DLC coming, and they want to make sure that they get it right before this DLC comes out. At least a quarter of what they need to change. I think this is why they're bringing a bunch of people in, so they can try to change at least a quarter of the things before the last DLC, or the big like community leaders like Gatalion. Let's say Gatalion for, Gatalion is big in the Destiny community, and if he can literally get on stream and say, guys, there's gonna be positive light at the end of the tunnel, people are gonna be like, dude, please tell me, man, please tell me. They're gonna want to come and try to fucking update, man. They're gonna want to try to fucking update because they believe in Gatalion. Gatalion has said that he's not coming back until it's home. So this player, this community are gonna follow him. If the game is gonna be in a good space, they're gonna follow him. But that's the thing. Bungie needs to get those big community leaders back in love with the game. It's sad though because that they have to do this in some ways. You know, we had the entire lifespan of D3 of reviews and thoughts, opinions that they had logged in and had that in their palm and say, all right, this is not what to do and this is what to do. And the what to do, I don't know where it went. But Bungie's not gonna. And another thing too that frustrates me, and I said it on Twitter the other day, Bungie's gonna listen to only the big dogs, the big players. But sometimes there's little voices out there that loves their game like I do. I spend 2 to 3 hours on this game every freaking day. It's rare I don't play it every day. It's my passion, it's my hobby. As soon as I'm done with work, as soon as I'm done with my personal stuff, taking care of my family and all that kind of stuff, at night before I go to bed, I logged in, I play 2-3 hours and before I go to bed. It's my distressor, it's my passion, it's my fun. Even if I play with different players every day, even if I find new players on LFG, I just love doing that. I play the game because I love playing it. But my opinions matter too. And that's where Bungie, I think, are always screwing up a little bit. Because they'll listen to the big dogs, which is good, because a lot of them are what shaped and formed D1 at the end. I'm completely agree with that point. But sometimes certain little voices are still strong and should still matter. If 200 players, like the top 200 players that has the most time in this game, if none of them got invited, they're the top 200 players that played the most out of this game. They could tell you from bottom and up what's wrong with the game if they play D1 to the correct manner. I didn't get any survey. I didn't get any. I didn't get any emails or whichever. Ask me my opinion. And that's where I'm frustrated with this. But anyways, that's for another video. My final verdict on Trials with no radar, I feel like go back to the radar. It's still a fun event. If you want to do it on Halloween with the spider theme and all that kind of stuff, hey, I'm all down for it. Fuck it. It's fun. But no more than 2 weeks. And when they bring this event, what they should do to make people play it is have special team loot. Rare gear that you can only get once a year during spooky trials. Exotic quests. Make that there's 3 different exotics and all that kind of stuff. They're all team around this darkish, spooky manner, like Halloween, like dark. Bring shaders that are really dark and gothic, and you know what I mean. That style of stuff there. And I feel that if they were to do that, I feel like they would attract a crowd, even though it's really sweaty. It would work. But for a year-long thing, it's just not. It's not what Bungie had to do. I think they pushed away more players than they pulled in my final opinion. So I hope that answers all your questions. It's like I said, it has this key component where I see what Bungie wanted at the end of the picture was for more flanks and more hero moments. But I just don't see them too often. You'll see it when you're playing mostly with a big team that's super savage and super good. Or if your team is but your communication is on point. If your communication is on point, you'll still see it. But if you're playing with a team that's upcoming, that's new, or that's noobs, you're just going to get savagely destroyed. Because you can have a dude that has a 0.7, and you can have a dude that has a 0.8. But if his communication on the 0.7 is on point, and he's following the big guy, the good player of this team, just for assists and communication, you're still going to win or do good. But if your teammate is a negative, a noob in other words, but doesn't communicate, is, you can't do shit. And that's where it's frustrating. That the other night when I was playing on Twitch, I got frustrated over that part right there. And I feel that's the part where I can see where carriers are just going to say, screw this game. Screw this. I can see where big players that had a radar was like their compass. It was like their fourth ability. I can see those players saying, fuck this. And that's where I think Bungie did wrong. That's why I think Bungie should go back to the radar enabled playlist, if I should say like that. So I hope that it answers people's questions. I hope that I didn't ramble too much and all that kind of stuff. If I did, I apologize. But there's certain things that had to come out in order for you guys to understand a little bit more. Right now on my YouTube, I try to upload every day. But it's rough because there's not much to do in the game right now. I could upload more highlights videos and all that kind of stuff because I play a lot of Crucible. If you guys want to see that, just write it down in the comments. Say yes or knock that like button. You know what I feel about that. Thunder snipe that like button. I mean, right now that's the thing. I'm gonna start uploading Overwatch videos. I'd say about 2 to 3 times a week, and the other 2-3 days, I'm probably gonna upload Destiny 2, 100%. I'm always gonna upload Destiny 2 over any other game right now. That's the main game I'm focusing on. And when the DLC comes around, I'm gonna go to uploading every day, 6 out of 7 days a week, pretty much. But yeah, no, I mean, let's hope for the game, man. Let's hope for the game, guys. I mean, right now the game is, to be in a honest perspective, the game is not where it should be. It's far from where it should be. But if Bungie is making a summit and bringing the players over there, I have a little bit more confidence. That means they really want to make a change, or they really want to show off something big. So let's hope that's what it is. I mean, other than that, I just play the game for the fun of it. Sometimes it's like I said to my friends, I'm not gonna push anybody to play in it. I know a lot of people kind of like said fuck this until the next DLC. Even for Trials, people are wondering why I'm not playing with the old players I used to play with and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I can't force them to play. If they don't want to play, they want to wait until the next DLC because there's no loot to get, there's no stuff to get and all that kind of stuff. I understand. I'm the type of player that I like loot and I like all that stuff, but I still play this over any. For me, playing Trials right now is like playing normal Crucible. You know what I mean? Like for me, it's that. It gives me extra numbers where another player is not gonna get. But else than that, until the next DLC, there's no loot. I understand that, and I'm not gonna push players to play in it if there's no loot, if there's no stuff. You know, I can't push people to play a game type where they don't have a loot factor or something to grind for. You know. But for me, I'm different, so I'm gonna continue playing and all that kind of stuff, and that's why you still see some videos about Trials in my YouTube, and you still see some videos about Crucible, you still see some sniper videos. The other night I uploaded Alone as a God sniper highlights. It was a small video, but it's a little bit of a big spur kills here and there and all that kind of stuff that I got during a night of playing with the Alone as a God. And right now I got the new sniper, the Silicon Aroma, that I'm working to get some clips on so you guys can get some videos. It's like I said, I'm still going to upload Destiny regardless, even if people don't like it. So yeah, no, I still enjoy playing the game, and I'm still going to upload it every day. For me, Destiny 2 is still a playable game. It just doesn't have the grind loot factor that 80% of its player base were pursuing. That it was either new loot or random rolls. That 80% of players were big numbers for Bungie. And I think that's where they lost a lot of players. Let's hope with the next DLC they bring that around. But for now, that is all for me today. My final verdict: bring back the old Trials again. I'll still play the no radar thing because I love playing Trials. But that's just me. Some players, they just don't like it. And for me, in my opinion, I'll play it regardless. But if you ask my opinion, I'd rather play with radar. For Slayer Supers, it was a lot more funner because you could know where to go. And now I feel like it's just going to push Slayer Supers into the dump because the Nova Bomb out of nowhere, the spook, I got a Nova Bomb and I got no choice. I think those one-shot supers are going to shine. And I just don't like playing with one-shot supers. I'm a Slayer super kind of guy. And, I mean, I just like playing with a radar. It kind of tells you a little bit more information about what you're doing, all that kind of stuff. So all in all, I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. I hope that you guys enjoy my content and all that kind of stuff. If you guys have anything to ask and all that kind of stuff for me to do on my channel, leave them in the comments. You know you can talk to me. You know you can talk to me. And thunder snipe that like button. Thunder snipe that like button. You know it helps me out. You can thunder snipe too if you have the Honkaras. You can thunder snipe that little bell button also. Helps me even more. And I hope that you guys have a marvelous day. And I hope you guys continue to play Destiny. On that note, have yourselves a awesome day. Peace out, guys.
Yes! 3 down! Fought like a titan of the first pillar.